This is Chet Holmgren, and I'm down to dunk.
This is AJ Mitchell, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Alex Crusoe, and I'm down to dunk.
It's like baby bottle pop. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is Adam Flagler, and I'm down to dunk.
Hey, it's Isaiah Hartenstein, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Cason Wallace, and I'm down to dunk.
I can't spell Lucas. Hey, how do you spell Lucas? How do you spell Lucas?
This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to Dort.
This is Nikola Topic, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Dylan Jones, and I'm down to dunk. This is Isaiah Joe, and I'm down to dunk.
And there's probably like 50 to 75 Beanie Babies.
Give me like your top 3 Pokemon.
Brother, I can't even name.
This is Jay Will, and I'm down to dunk.
Sometimes the way his brain works is it leaves a lot to be desired.
This is Kenrich Williams, and I'm down to dunk.
Charmander.
Charmander.
Or you're more of a Charmeleon guy.
Charmeleon.
This is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and I'm down to dunk.
Schlecht. You know what it means? Yeah.
That means like bad.
It means bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Well, it was a good interview, so it wasn't bad.
J-Dub, year 3, and I'm down to dunk for the 3rd time. Thank you.
Good morning and welcome to episode 163 of Down to Dunk. You can find us on The Athletic and anywhere else you subscribe to your podcast. Go to theathletic.com/down to dunk and get The Athletic for $1 a month for 6 months. I am Luke, joined this morning by Andrew.
I gotta say, I'm just fired up to be here today. It's pretty cool, pretty damn cool. Woo!
Slam through.
Taylor.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Slam Through. Happy birthday to you and Amy, your wife.
And Jay.
It's Jay. Sorry that the Thunder screwed up your birthday.
They just straight up ruined my birthday. Thanks a lot, Thunder.
Happy birthday. You got you nothing.
Be a great birthday present to have something.
Great birthday present to be sitting here today just waiting for game 1.
It would be. Instead, we're going to game 7, baby.
God,
this could be the last podcast of the Oklahoma City, the last FriPod of the Oklahoma City Thunder's 2024-25 season.
It could be.
Could be.
Or the beginning of a beautiful, magical run.
Could be.
It could be. The Thunder lost 119-107.
How are you guys
in
thinking? How are you guys thinking about this series? Because I find myself going back and forth thinking about it 2 different ways. No, but like this, in like the narrative of it. The way I'm thinking about it from an OKC fan perspective is 2 ways. One way is, oh my God, this is not good. They should have finished this already. This should have been over in 5. I don't know about this team. I don't know if they can make the run. Or 2, Jay, this is the series that gets them. They get it in game 7. They beat the champs from 2 years ago. This is the one that, lifts them up to the next level. And yeah, this is the team that could do it.
Well, it depends, and it all depends
on the outcome.
On the outcome of game 7.
Yeah.
If they lose it, it's going to be the first one, and if they win, it's going to be the second.
Yeah, that's a lame take, though. No offense. It just is like the most non-committal take you could have possibly made.
Well, then which one is it?
I feel more the second one, right?
Yeah.
I feel more like, so, and I'm not, that came out way meaner than I meant for it to, and I apologize for that,
okay.
But you're the worst, and I don't know why you would ever say anything ever again. I think,
hey, Luke, this is from last night. It's not about
you.
It's
not about you.
It's not about you.
We call it hidden
this
agendas.
Is not about you.
No, I think that one of the reasons before the series I said I want the Thunder to take on the Nuggets is because the Clippers would have been a challenging matchup in a different way. But the Nuggets, even though they had the year in between championships, they still feel like the presumptive Western Conference team because of Jokic. And, it's that old adage, but to like, what do they say? To be the best, you've got to beat the best kind of thing. Like, they need to get through it. It is testing them in a way that they've never experienced, and it's showing up. There's some immaturity that you're seeing regularly out of this team so far that's been incredibly frustrating. I think the greater revelation to me in this series has been how much more overly emotionally invested I am in this run comparatively. Like I was
Than last year?
no, than maybe the 2016 one I felt this way, but dude, I am like pins and needles. I think it's because of all of the other things. The 2016 was the Thunder were kind of in some sense playing with house money. Like you had a 73 win team. You weren't supposed to win.
Yeah.
When you're expected to win and you feel like you're falling short of this expectation, it's just, it has a unique way of making my stomach turn.
Yeah.
And so I'm watching the game last night and I'm like, I have so many thoughts about last night. But as far as the narrative goes, winning game 7 against the Nuggets on your home floor, that is the moment where people are going to be like, that was it.
Yeah.
And you saw last night, like, and I think most people, if you were going to take a poll of people who are paying attention to the playoffs so far, I think most people would tell you that the winner of this series is probably the heavy favorite to win the championship. Like, and I know that's shorting the Timberwolves quite a bit because, you know, they especially play well against the Nuggets, but I just think that that's what they've seen. This is a heavyweight fight.
Yeah, it is.
And they are just trading. I mean, Mark used the analogy last night. They're just trading blows every single game.
Yep.
And so I think the narrative wise to win game 7 on Sunday would be, it is exactly what you said, Taylor. Like, oh, this is the refining moment to where now this team will be X, and they'll look back on this 3 years from now when they're working on their 3rd championship and they're, you know, it was this pivot point that the other one is like the questions that arise for this team moving into the summer. Although I don't think the Thunder organization themselves would be reactive the way that the fan bases or media would be. It does present it, but it does present some questions of like, okay, 2 playoff series in a row, two years in a row in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They flame out in roughly this similar way.
Yeah.
The shooting just fell apart. Their second, I thought Chet was good last night. Dub was great on defense and some other things, and Mark kind of talked about that, but shot, 3 of 15?
3 of 16. 0-4 from 3. 0 free throws.
All right, hit my Tayshons.
Yeah.
Tayshon's back to it bigger in victory. Tayshon's back to it bigger in victory.
Hey, I'm Tayshons. This is my Victory Dictory. I have a little game for you.
Are you calling someone?
No, I'm hiding my screen. This game is called Can You Name All the Nuggets players that scored more points than J-Dub last night? Let's go down the line. Andrew, we'll start with you.
Jamal Murray.
That's one.
Jokic.
Yes, that's another one.
Christian Brown.
That's one.
Julian Strother.
Yes.
That was mine.
There's more.
That was mine. I don't know. Westbrook.
Yep, Westbrook is one. Jay, there's one more.
That's not the end of it.
Nope, there's one more.
Gordon did. I don't think MPJ did. Maybe MPJ.
Yep, MPJ. That's it. Westbrook scored more. Strother scored more. MPJ was terrible in that game.
He was bad.
Westbrook was bad in that game.
That's not a fun game.
It wasn't a fun
Westbrook
game.
He was not great, but he also had a pretty big play down the stretch.
He had his big Westbrook moments
when he hit that layup and like
the layup was huge. The block on Shea was huge.
Huge.
Well, I'm not sure. The Thunder were allergic to aggressively or assertively scoring at the basket.
There were so many jump shots last night.
It was, but Andrew has this pulled up already, but the amount of missed layups.
They were 50% on layups, which is bad.
Layups.
10 of 20.
Yeah.
And I know that, hey, man, these are contested ones.
They didn't feel that good either.
70% on layups, 14 of 20.
Jeez. And that felt bad to me too. I felt like
if the Thunder were 70% on layups, they win the game.
If they made their free throws, they'd win the game too.
Not last night though, right?
Well,
they lost by 12.
It still feels like it.
Well, but even
you don't let go of the rope if you're that close.
Listen, I've said this, and this is nobody ever there's so many, and I get all of the narratives that I just can't stand about whenever you say anything about officiating, and I'm not blaming it on the officiating, but Shea getting his fourth foul in the second quarter changed the entire dynamic of the game.
Yeah.
Because in the third quarter, the Thunder played with a unique timidity that was directly correlated to the fact that they didn't want to foul.
Yeah.
They went to zone multiple times. The offense bogged down. Like everything changed because they were so. Because if Shea gets your fifth foul, because Shea was the only good player last night.
Yeah.
Chet was okay.
But it didn't feel like you look at Chet's stat line and like his defense was really good. But you just watching him, you're like, I don't know, man. This feels like 80% of what you are.
He had 19. If
I know,
if Dub had 19, they win the game. You know, like if Dub
Chet
plays the way that Chet
did what he needed to do.
Chet was really aggressive towards the basket, which I appreciated.
Yeah.
And was taking it to Jokic. And what he shot relatively okay from the 3-point line. Was he?
It was just
2-5.
His 3-point misses were what throws his field goal percentage off. But he was good at the basket. He was the only good one.
Yeah, I mean, 2 of 7 from 3, 8 of 14.
2 of 7.
8 of 14 from the field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
he had some good rebounds. Like Chet was not the problem tonight.
No, he wasn't.
No, it falls for me. It falls on. I think Dub's offense was really problematic, and then the bench just didn't shoot well.
Yeah,
like the bench has been what's kind of carried them in large stretches.
Yeah, you still got 20 points off the. What did we get? 20?
Yeah,
no, 23 points off the bench.
32 points off.
Outside of Caruso,
32.
Yeah,
outside of Caruso, what was the shooting?
Caruso and Case and Wallace were both 4 of 9.
Yeah,
Wiggs was 1 of 6. He had so many open shots where it was
Wiggs.
like that's a shot that should go down. You know, like I'm watching it with my kids. I'm like, that Wiggs shot.
He makes that 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, you know.
Hey,
Jay Will was 3 of 5. He had 1 of 2 from 3.
Jay Will was good last night. Jay Will was legitimately good.
Isaiah Joe was rough. He's 1 of 3 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3.
He just can't get open.
Dude, I don't know. He
can't.
just can't. He can't play in this series.
Yeah, I mean that into the second quarter was the game to me because the Thunder had firm control. They went on a 29-11 run basically throughout the entire second quarter until the last 2 minutes.
Dude, they were 2 minutes.
They were up 58-46. Shea goes out, and then the Nuggets go on a 12-3 run. They're +9, and then basically Dort saves their butts from being a 12-0 run and hits that 3 at the buzzer. The Thunder go into the half up 3. But it was like, boy, they missed a huge opportunity. All you had to do was just manage the clock.
They would have been up by 20.
All you had to do is manage the clock, play lock in on defense, play half court, and you're up 12 if you just manage it.
The Thunder they were offensively, they looked like the Thunder. In that stretch, they looked like the Thunder.
Yeah, they did.
Shea was getting anything he wanted. Shea was. So this is why it was so. He played 35 minutes last night, which is not crazy different than what he normally did, but it was so oddly spaced out because of his foul trouble.
Yeah, foul trouble is bad.
If he would have been his normal assertive self for the whole game, he may have scored 45 points.
And they needed him to last night. With the way that Dub was shooting, they needed him to. Yeah, during that stretch, the Thunder had 3 points. They had 1 assist on that, but they were 1 of 3 from the field. They had 2 turnovers and 2 fouls. Like it was just a really, really ugly stretch where the Nuggets scored 12 points, had 1 assist, but they were 4 of 5 from the field. They hit their free throws. They hit 2 threes. I mean, it was rough.
At the start of halftime, Perkins said it feels like this Thunder team should be up by, I don't know if he said 10 or 20.
Yeah.
But in every game, the team that whoever says it about the team, it's like we've said it multiple times in games that the Thunder end up losing. It feels like Thunder should be up 20. And then in the one that we won last game, we won at home. Someone said to me, it feels like the Nuggets should be up by 15.
It did feel that way.
Whoever says that, it feels like this team should be up. That team loses it because they're losing it because they're not taking those opportunities and they're letting, they're just pissing it away. And so that's what this whole series has felt like. Mm-hmm. And when Perk said that at halftime, I was like, Thunder losing because he said that. That is what happens in the series. The person the team that is not taking advantage of that and it feels like they should be winning, lose those games.
Yeah. It's rough.
I don't know if I've ever been more mad at someone that was sick than I was at Jamal Murray last night.
He was very good.
God, it was so annoying to see him on the bench. Like,
well, on the whoever the post game interview was for TNT, she was like, Jamal, I know that you've been wrestling with this illness. Was there any chance you were going to miss tonight? And he looked at her like, no, I wasn't going to miss tonight.
No one thought
he was going to miss.
Not one person believed that he was going to miss.
They were making it such a big freaking deal on the broadcast too. It was so.
They're trying to. Everybody's trying to always recreate the Michael Jordan
flu game.
Yeah,
wasn't that food poisoning?
The Paul Pierce diarrhea game.
So, yeah. The truth is,
Paul Pierce.
The truth. Has anyone ever had a bad game when they have the flu?
That's a good point. Do you have stats here?
No. Just
every single person that has had the flu has shot 85%.
It's like a great omen for whoever it is. It's like, let's just get the whole team the flu, and then we're just going to crush the Nuggets.
Or just say you have the flu, and then act like you're dying on the bench. And then yell and dunk and run as fast as you can when you're playing.
The whole team is questionable for Game 7.
Everyone's questionable with the flu. I would bet my house the Thunder win if that's the case.
Yeah.
I think the reason last night stung so uniquely badly. I don't know if that sentence made sense at all.
I think you should have said stinky badly.
Stung, not stunk.
Stung. Stingy?
It's just setting
Stingy?
up like you just, for me, I didn't want to go into a Game 7 against Nikola Jokic.
No.
Yeah.
No.
A team that has incredible experience in Game 7s. They have the maturity in Game 7. They've shown up time and time again in those moments, although they lost last year to the Wolves in Game 7. That's why, I mean, it's hard, and I hate being the freaking Debbie Downer like I usually am on this team, but that's why I'm picking the Nuggets on Sunday.
To lose!
Actually,
I was like really scared you weren't going to say to lose.
Are they?
I was so scared.
I was so scared.
They have to announce MVP on Sunday.
No.
They have to.
I mean, listen, they're not going to.
They have to. Are they going to? So you're saying like, because it's going to be,
they're waiting until
the narratives would be off the chart.
So it's possible that they could announce MVP and the MVP's already out of the playoffs. If they announce like Tuesday or whatever.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do.
No.
Yeah.
Why would they do that?
Well, it's still better if he wins and then you do it, you get a bigger pot.
I think they'll announce it Monday. That's what.
And then he'll get it on Tuesday before the Game 1.
Announce it right before the game.
That would be fun.
If the NBA were smart, they would do that.
You know who doesn't care about Shea getting the NBA or the MVP? Jokic.
Yeah,
he's just like, cool,
good job. I got a couple.
He's like, I might still get this one.
One of the biggest storylines though is Aaron Gordon, who looked like he had a left hamstring injury. After the game, David Adelman said that the concern level is high for Aaron Gordon. And if it is a strain, he won't play on Sunday. He just won't.
I mean, look what Steph did.
I know. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Steph's was a grade 1, and he's out a week to 10 days. He couldn't come back.
He was out longer than they thought he would be out.
So maybe it was a cramp. I don't know. I don't think you would say that your concern level is high.
Didn't look like a cramp.
I don't think you would say it was your concern level is high if it's not a strain. And so like that's a pretty big deal.
Unless they're setting up for Aaron Gordon's flu game.
I know, that's what I was about to say, is like this is his hammy game where he's just, remember when Serge Ibaka came back
in the Spurs series?
Yeah.
And what was that?
What was his
calf?
Yeah, it was a calf strain.
Yeah. And his girlfriend came and then helped him get better.
Yeah.
Carrie
Hilson. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I hope other people heard the way that you said that.
Yeah.
This is the second time in not too long that we tried to remember who the girlfriend was.
I looked it up.
Kylie Jenner.
I'm wearing the belt today because
you win.
I was the most pessimistic in the last game.
Well,
Let's do Sunday.
The
No,
game 7.
Please no.
Let's do it.
Please no.
It's the last one of the year, could be, or the beginning of a beautiful
all right,
run.
I'll start. Thunder 45.
I feel nervous. So the Vegas line. Do you know what it is?
5.5.
I think it's 7.
Thunder?
Mhm.
Oh, I hate that.
I know it's terrible.
They've been favored every game.
Yeah, they have.
Dude, I'm so with you, Jay. I'm like, finish it in game 6, please. Please put Jokic down. I can't. That guy gives the team a chance every single game.
It is always the reminder, though, of like, especially a team with the resiliency of this Nuggets team, to beat a team like that in game 6 on the road is really really hard.
It's hard. Closeout games are really tough when your back is not against the wall.
Like
when
even
their
look
back
back
is against the wall, it's hard.
Remember in round 1 against the Grizzlies, the closeout game is hard.
It's hard. Closeout games are difficult because you don't have the pressure. You have like the fallback. Like we get to go back to our home crowd. It's like,
and as much as you say it, like
over.
Caruso said it in practice. After practice earlier, I guess it was probably yesterday. I guess he's like, we're not trying to get back for game 7. Like, we want to finish this tonight.
Yeah.
But you do in the back of your mind, at least somewhat subconsciously, like, we'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That little run that the Thunder made at the end, it was like, oh, cool. Where has this been?
I know. The
the intensity was insane.
They ratcheted up. And part of it was like the Nuggets were trying to bleed the clock. And the Thunder were playing desperate.
Where did they go? 4. And that was another one of the things. They got multiple steals, missed a layup. Missed the three-pointer.
That missed layup killed me.
The missed dunk from Dub in transition where he had the steal and you're like, yes. And then he just doinks it.
Yep.
It was just
that was fun.
That was like, you want to encapsulate the game in one play. There it is. It's like you have this hope that it's like, all right, it's time to do it, Thunder.
Like it gets real interesting because it was like a minute 15.
Yeah, I mean,
it was close enough where you were not having to play the foul game immediately.
Dude,
you get a couple misses and you're right in it.
And we've seen the Thunder go on really quick, huge runs this season. So down, what was it? Down 12 with 2.5 to go, something like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, you do still have this glimmer of hope because you've seen them do it. Yeah, they weren't hitting threes, but you're still like, I mean, I've seen them hit like 4 threes in a row before.
Yeah, they were on a 14-6 run from the 3-minute mark till 53 seconds left.
So Andrew,
let's do the.
Can I ask? I want to ask one question. We can do the belt.
Okay.
So John Hollinger last night, maybe Dave DeFore as well, both colleagues,
friends and colleagues,
mentioned something that I was like, there's absolutely no way. Hollinger mentioned that Mark should start Caruso in game 7
over Dort.
Yeah. But there's no way Mark's going to do that.
Yeah, Dave said it on the NBA Daily last night too. I don't think so.
It doesn't sound like something.
I'd rather start Kaysen.
Kaysen was very good. I think that he would argue that you'd rather just kind of keep the rhythm of those guys off the bench.
Yeah.
Maybe you limit his minutes.
Yeah. They've won the same amount of games as the Nuggets in this series.
But you say that,
playing that lineup.
You say that like limit his minutes, but Dort's the reason we won game 5.
And guess what? Mark pulled him pretty quick last night.
Yeah, you only had 21 minutes last night.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he was like, you did it the other night. You need to do it for us. Like Mark is trying to push the right buttons. Like honestly, like the biggest problem was that J-Dub didn't make shots. Like that was the biggest problem that they had last night.
And Julian Strother did.
Yeah, and those are the kinds of games that you get from rando role players at home.
Yeah, which you would hope.
We need some like Aaron Wiggins threes to fall.
You need him to go 4 of 6 from the 3-point line.
Isaiah Joe to like have a pulse.
And honestly, like, here's the thing: Denver's only had one game where they've had a bench player like score like that. It was last night. I mean, their bench has done nothing.
Nothing. I need the Thunder to win by like 35 on Sunday.
Yep. Okay. I
Is
went
that your
45.
No. My prediction is
35.
OKC by 5.
That's like the number that I had in my head. Actually.
I'll go 4 then.
Okay. I'll go 5. You can go 4.
I'm gonna go OKC by 1.
Oh my gosh.
God.
Can you imagine what the building
Guys,
is like?
you might
That's
as
what I
well-
think
by
it's gonna-
one.
That's what I think it's gonna be.
Bro, y'all just I'll let you know what room number I am at the Integris on I-35.
There's a part of me
For real.
that I'm going to watch, but there is a part of me that's like, I don't think I want to watch this game. I just want to wait until
No way. Oh,
Till it's over.
dude, you gotta
watch.
go through it.
Yeah. There are parts of you like during games like this that think, why do I even like this?
Yeah.
Why is this the thing that I've chosen to like,
Yeah.
to do? As you're sitting there watch, like it's excruciating,
You know what I do in that moment? I'm like, what else would I do? Read?
Huh?
Read books, I
I
guess.
thought you said weed.
Weed.
I was like, that's a much more chill activity, I guess.
Yeah, I know. It'd be the exact opposite emotional response.
That's what else would I do? Be more present with my family.
Oh, my family was watching with me last night.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
I know. Yeah. It's
Do the dishes.
it's formative moments there. I mean, I've gotten to just Asher and I have bonded a lot like during this series because like through the good and the bad,
Just passing along your anxiety over a basketball team.
It's like it's his like really his first time to go through
Yeah.
like these like sports pains like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's 13 years old. I mean, he's like, Dad, what's gonna happen? What are we? He's like pacing around the room. It's like, oh,
Was there a part of you? I'm not very good in those moments when I'm just like,
yeah,
guys, I can't handle my own emotions.
Yeah.
I can't carry anybody else's right now.
yeah.
I need everybody just to sit in silence for the next 30 minutes.
I don't let it. I don't know. I don't let it like stew in me that much anymore. I feel like I used to, but like I don't know.
You're just around it enough, and you watch the guys who are actually in it,
Yeah.
not overly emotional in losses like
Yeah.
that, where you're like, oh, why am I the one that's losing my mind?
Yeah, that may be part of it. Is like there is like a calmness about the team, after even games like that exists where it's like, you know what? They're either going to win it or they're going to lose it. Like they either have it or they don't. And a lot of people think that it means like huge things for the summer. And we're not going to go to any of those places, but it's like,
But they're getting Giannis probably.
they're not going to do that, and they're not going to trade Jalen Williams, and they're not going to trade Chet. Like it's an absurd thought to think that like they should get rid of those guys. I mean, Dub is in year 3. Remember Harden in the finals, just like being
Gone.
a no-show, and it's like, man, I don't know if that guy's got it.
Well, you know what? He hasn't really shown that he does have it.
But like if he's
his
your
entire career,
but like if
in those moments.
but if it worked out to where he's your third,
Yeah,
guy,
that was kind of indicative of his entire career.
yeah, it's kind of like that's kind of what he's known for now. He's
but as
not
like
showing up
but
in
as
big
like the
games.
number one guy for sure. But like if they were able to like keep that team together, which I don't think would have actually happened.
No.
But if you were able to,
Yeah.
like you would choose that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like we don't know what the rest of Dub's career is going to look like. We don't know what his game 7 is going to look like.
And we also really like him.
And to think, but
Also, he had a huge shot in Game 5. That was so
he did,
important.
and to think that you would just trade that kind of talent, like you don't trade that kind of wing talent. Like how many, if Jalen Williams became available on the trade market, how many teams are calling?
It would be hard
Most of them.
again.
29 teams are calling and saying, what can we do to get that guy?
Yeah.
He's a third-year guy who just made the All-Star team. He's not looked good. I mean, I can read his stats right now. They're not good. Like his series stats are quite bad. He's 16.5 points on 15.8 shots per game. That's really bad. He's 21% from 3, 33% from the field. He's 5 rebounds, 5 assists per game, 1.5 steals.
And by the
and
way,
a block per game.
this guy for 2 years now has been one of the most efficient, wing scorers in the league too.
It's very bad. And it's like, and I think people are saying things like, is this team ever going to be ready? Is Jalen ever going to be good in the playoffs? It's like, this is his second run in year 3. So like, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, people are saying the same things about Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. It's like, is Jaylen Brown ever going to be ready? Is Jason Tatum ever going to be ready? They go and win the title last year. And like, to think that they would have just traded Jaylen Brown, before then. Like, are the Celtics winning the title last year if they trade Jaylen Brown?
He was the MVP of the finals, wasn't he?
Yes, he was finals MVP. Are they doing that? Did he have to like grow into that role to become finals MVP? Absolutely. Like, no one's career is written because you have 2 bad playoff runs.
Yeah.
And he has a chance to like right all the wrongs on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. That's actually the story of a vast majority of guys who've won championships.
Yeah.
Is they had to go through that underperformance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Figure it out.
And the blessing to J-Dub is that he has a game 7 to go do it. Like, he has that opportunity in front of him.
Yeah.
The things that the Thunder did last night that I was like, I think somebody's growling.
Hungry?
I'm hungry.
Can I get you a graham cracker?
I heard every fart.
The thing that their ability, what they have made the concerted intention of doing against this Nuggets defense really should lend itself to Dub having a kind of quintessential Dub game where they are attacking the zone with penetration and dribbling and getting into their spots, where it was like, that's what was so challenging, is Dub was getting it in the place where he was like, oh, that's a good looking mid-range shot, or getting to the basket and just not being able to finish. Like, it's just, there were a lot of things in the way that they attacked this defense where I was like, that's sustainable. They just have to make it.
Just make the shot. Yeah. Just make the shot.
That's why, like, going back to this thing where people are talking about, oh, we need to upgrade players. I don't watch this series and think, we just don't have enough good guys. I have not thought that this whole time. Everything I'm thinking is, I know these guys are good enough and they're just not freaking making it. I've seen them make it. This is a psychological thing. This is a mental thing.
The inconsistency of shooting makes me more concerned long term than I'm saying from everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a problem, and like this is the playoffs though. Like, you have to learn and grow through it, and you figure out like who are the guys that can make shots and who are the guys that can't show up. I think that you're learning that Cason Wallace is a playoff riser. Like, this is a guy that you need to figure out, like, how do we keep this guy around for the long term? I mean, he's shooting 48% from the field, 46% from 3 in the series.
He needs to play,
like
a lot.
Dude, his defense on Jokic has been unbelievable for the size difference too.
Yeah.
So I have another question.
Mm-hmm.
He's great.
Mark has historically in this series really, I mean, even though he does deviate as far as the rotations themselves, for the most part, he's going to play an extensive amount of guys. Yeah. Is there any part of him on Sunday that extends the minutes of an iHeart, or, I mean, do these guys play the whole fourth quarter? Some of these guys,
it's hard because like you have to balance it, because it's, you want to play your best guys the most minutes, but also you don't want them to be absolutely gassed at the end of it. Like, you think about Jokic playing every second of the fourth quarter in game 5. And that's, I think, what killed them down the stretch. Yeah. Jokic got 2 minutes of rest at the beginning of the fourth and came back in fresh, and they, finished the Thunder off.
Although it didn't really show in Jokic in game 5.
Yeah, he's
hitting the dumbest shots ever.
But it's like these defensive, all these little things that you just don't give that effort to anymore at that point that benefit the other team.
That's why I asked the question of just like, because sometimes it feels like Mark's rotations are kind of just like, don't feel the urgency of what he's never going to feel the urgency of what fans do most of the time, which is because he's normal and has probably a healthy ability to kind of navigate his tension. But it's like,
just kind of, it feels nonchalant sometimes. Where it's like, all right, just sub in the next round.
Oh, and Jay Will winning in game 5 at the end of the game. You're like,
and I was just like, why?
Like, that's the thing that you're doing right now? You know, I mean, it's
ended up being a positive.
I know, and so it's hard because like that's the way they got here.
Mm-hmm.
Is by playing all their guys, and now asking them to go away from that, like it may be the right answer, it may not. That's the difficult thing with like coaching in games like this in these high leverage games. I mean, Mark's never coached a game 7. I think the only guy that's been in a game 7 is Shea.
Yep.
Has Caruso?
Maybe Caruso.
I don't know if Caruso's been in a game 7.
In the bubble, didn't we go to a game 7?
But they losing 6 to the Rockets or 7?
Oh, they did lose 7. So
Dort has. Yeah.
So Shea and Dort have been in game 7.
Yeah, but that's
so long ago. Their roles were so different,
and not a like a crowdless game 7. Like,
yeah, does it count? Yeah, it doesn't. It is the comparison.
The arena is going to be.
There's no comp.
Insane.
There's no comp, and the Nuggets have been in multiple game 7s, but
not in an environment like they're about to get.
Yeah, probably. How many of their game 7s have been with?
I think all of them are at home.
Yeah,
and the Nuggets played, I think, 2 game 7s in the bubble.
Yeah,
which is like you can throw all the bubble stuff out the window.
Yeah, but like to be on the road game 7 with, I mean, that place is going to be feral.
Yeah, and I mean the Thunder have not lost 2 games in a row in this series. You know, if you want to look at the bright side. You know, I think the Thunder. I
missed the bright side.
That's what we wanted.
The way that Taylor looked at me after he sang it so loud. Yeah, I mean, I think they make adjustments. I think honestly, like one of the levers you can pull is playing Alex Caruso 35 minutes.
Yeah,
you know, like
45 minutes.
He's consistently been one of the guys that does hit threes.
It's a riser
in this series, and then like just affects the game defensively. I think that he should play more minutes. I think you can make the argument for Kaysen as well. But when it comes down to it, like those guys will make a difference for sure. But the biggest difference that can be made is J-Dub just showing up as a shot maker. I think he was a really good passer last night. Like he did like all these things that you want, except make shots. 3 of 16 from the field is just, it's honestly unacceptable, you know, for this team to win games. Like you're just not going to win many games whenever your second best scorer doesn't show up.
So game 7, down by 2, last seconds. Who do we want taking the shot?
I mean, it's got to be Shea.
Is that who you want?
Is there another answer?
Shea.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
what if
think?
They're going to be all over it? Someone else is going to be.
I don't care. I still want it to be Shea. If it's not Shea that doesn't take the last shot down 2 in a game 7, you messed up.
It needs to. So it needs to be him.
It has to be Shea. Who do you want?
I'm asking you.
Isaiah Joe. He was terrible.
It's not.
He will not.
Lou Dort. Actually, Lou Dort would make
not
that
be in
shot.
the game.
Lou Dort would make.
Okay,
that
what would make you happiest? Like, what would be the happiest that you would?
Lou
feel?
Dort. Lou Dort hitting
player
a buzzer beating 3
kind of feels right.
Would make me laugh so hard.
It would be as the ball is passed to him and it hits his hands. I think the entire arena would just collectively vomit, just like on, you know.
And then we'd be
his
jumping
hands.
and jumping around in our vomit.
Then we'd just be slipping around in our vomit because that shot goes in. Like it would be
graphic, man.
It's got to be
feels right.
It's got to be Shea though.
It has to be Shea.
Oh.
It's got to be Shea. I mean, it would be pretty sweet for it to be J-Dub and he makes it. And you know, after, I mean, I can't tell you how many tweets I've seen, and I haven't read all of my mentions, but the amount of mentions about trading J-Dub is just like
ridiculous.
Like that's a crazy notion, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I understand like you're frustrated and this is not the result that you want, but I'm telling you that is also not the result that you want.
Also,
this wouldn't be probably the highest point of Dub's value. Like trading him after a playoff series where he underperforms.
Yeah, and I think
like,
what people would be talking about is Giannis, but like if we're talking about sustainability for this team in a small market in Oklahoma City, you're not trading for a supermax player. Like you just can't do that at this point and have a sustainable team for a long time here. Like there is a plan in place.
It's short-sighted
to keep this team here for the long term. And I'm not saying that like this has to be the team to get us there. Like there could be a point where you have to make trades to change your roster. That is a reality that we may have to face at some point. I just don't think it's today.
No.
I just don't think it's today. So it's just not anything that I would really entertain.
The hardest part of all of this for me, and we're already speaking like post-mortem, like they very well could and honestly should win on Sunday.
They should win. They're the favorites. They won 68 games. They have the home court advantage.
There's a lot of
historical defensive team.
You have the depth. They may be missing Aaron Gordon if what we like. There are so many things that say they should do it, and it's been the thing that's kept them from winning the series up to this point. Is all the intangible stuff. It's the playoff experience. It's the
going towards the
leadership.
Nuggets.
It's being in the moment. It's like all these little things that you can't get. Like you can't acquire it unless you go through it.
Well, and it's just, the thing that we've kind of not even really mentioned in the game last night is the fact that like what they weren't. So there was a lot of sloppiness early in the game, turnovers and all that.
Yeah.
But defensively, they were not who they are.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
They led a lot of like the Strother run was bad rotations. And part of that is just going to happen because they're putting so much energy towards Jokic and Murray, but they have to lock in. Like it has to be a game where you just see from the beginning a discernible difference in the energy and intensity this team brings on the defensive end, which there's nothing in my mind. If you want to talk about the one thing that I'm like, they're going to bring it on that end of the floor. Yeah. I think that's happening for sure on Sunday.
Yeah.
The question is, can they make shots? Like, can they make a reasonable amount of 3-pointers? And I this is why I'm pulling. I think they do. Home court always benefits the guys that are bench players, young play. It's the reason Strother played better at home than he does on the road.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you just hope that your bench guys feeling the energy of the room and the comfortable nature of being home make it far more.
How good was that? How good was that Peyton Watson block on J-Dub?
Quite good.
Yeah, it was fantastic. They had huge blocks.
J-Dub did that twice though. That killed me. Where it's like he went for the reverse.
Yeah. Just dunk it.
He did it twice. He did it like the lane cleared, and I can't remember what play it was. It was earlier in the game, and he went for the reverse and missed. And then like he went for the reverse on that. Like, why are you going for the reverse? Like, just go straight up with it, and maybe get fouled. Like, you probably get fouled on it.
Yeah, because guess what? You're not even getting to the line, J-Dub.
No,
get to the freaking line.
He didn't get to the line. Like, just go up strong. Like, that's what you need to do. Yeah, it was. It was an absolutely maddening game to watch. I mean, it was like it's brutal.
So the game Sundays, it's at 2:30.
Oh, it's dentist favorite time.
Yeah, dentist time. Yeah,
we're about to get a root canal.
Yeah, we're about to get a root canal.
All collectively getting root canals.
Yeah.
Have you ever had one?
I gave myself one time for fun.
All right, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
We need to talk about something fun.
And we're back after that quick break. Listen, guys, there's storms rolling in this weekend. Did you know that?
That's rumbling.
It might be a good omen for the Thunder. You know, might be a good omen for OKC.
Yeah. But, Mr. Weather.
Mr. Weather shows up again because, listen, you got to protect what matters most to you. And you got to call our friends, Aaron and Drew Reese at Shelter Insurance, 405-773-5500, 405-478-7714. To get a quote today, you can call or text them. These are trustworthy guys who support Down to Dunk and your Oklahoma City Thunder. Literally did see Aaron on the corner going into Game 5 with just so much nervous energy heading into Game 5. And you know what? It's going to be nervous energy walking into game 7. But you know what? I looked at Aaron and I saw a quiet calmness in his face that made me think, you know what? My roof got torn off. This is a guy that's going to help me. If I got hail damage, this is a guy that's going to help me. If my car gets totaled, you know what? This guy's not going to flinch. He's going to help me out. Go check him out today. Thank you to Aaron and Drew for supporting Down to Dunk and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Shall we answer some Twitter questions?
Yes. Twitter questions. You've got questions and you ask them on Twitter. Now we answer them for you. This is Twitter questions. Now let's get down to it.
Jimmy.
Our first Twitter question comes from @405fan, who says, the playoffs, they let you play, right? The refs swallow their whistles, and it's a lot more physical. Really? Maybe just not in our games?
Yeah, the foul discrepancy last night was kind of wild. 28-16. The amount of touch fouls that they were calling last night was infuriating. It was like the Thunder were not allowed to do much in that game. Weren't allowed to play their brand of basketball for stretches because of all the touch fouls. I mean, it was
Do you think
crazy.
they got the hey, we need a game 7 call in from the top?
I think so. They got some home cooking. Is what they
Yeah,
got.
I
Like
think
that was a part of the game that was infuriating, because it was like they're not allowed to touch Jokic in this game. You know, and he can flop around, and he was driving me nuts yesterday. I am so ready to not see Jokic.
Yeah, he is how do I put this positively? He is very good at initiating fouls.
Yeah.
Oh, and even that foul that was on Shea that got him the 4th. I mean, 80% of the reason it was called is because of his flop.
Yes.
Yeah. Like Shea got ball then arm, which sometimes people would say negligible, you know, and I'm also like, just challenge that one.
Yeah.
Like, it's worth the challenge even if you lose it, especially since you challenged that stupid one for Caruso at the end of the game. But anyway.
Yeah, I think he just maybe he felt bad about not using a challenge in the previous game. It's like, I just got to use them all now.
Yeah, so I'm like, his ability to exaggerate contact.
Dude, that one where Caruso's fronting him when he's trying to set up on the block. And so instead of just staying behind Caruso, he runs into Caruso to initiate the contact, and getting the foul that way is, God, it's so smart, but it is so maddening.
Yeah, it's infuriating. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. I hated that. Hated watching it. Hated observing it. I hate talking about it.
Hey guys, let's go to our next Twitter question. It's from @JohnnyHo34. It says, is there a downside to getting the flu during the playoffs?
No.
Yeah.
No. It gives you superpowers, apparently. Makes you a much better basketball player.
Hey, let's go to our next Twitter question. It comes from @StoneColdS.Adams, who says, who's the Thunder role player to have the Lou Dort or Strother game? Aaron Wiggins?
Be great if it was Wiggins. Be great to get a big Case and Wallace game, or another big Caruso game.
I mean, if it's equivalent to Strother, though, it's an Isaiah Joe game.
Yeah, definitely. You like get this rando Isaiah Joe hits 4 threes in the game. Yeah, I mean that's the equivalent.
What if it was the J Will game?
I mean, is there anything that would make anybody happier to see J Will go 5 of 6 from 3 and just scream and boom after every single one of those threes?
Screaming memes.
He's just about the only guy I trust.
Yeah,
to shoot threes like that. Well, I guess that's not true, but
in this series, I agree with you.
It definitely feels like that. You want to go down the list of the 3-point percentages? Who's number 1?
AJ Mitchell, probably.
And
You're staring right at it.
was going to say Kaysen.
Kaysen's number 2, 46.7%.
No one else. I think everyone else is 0. Is that right?
Jay Will is number 1, 50% from 3 during the series.
How many shots? 3s? 1.
Hold on. I'll pull it up.
He's 50% from 1 shot.
He's 4 of 8. It's easy to do that math.
That's 50.
Okay. No other guesses?
No one else has been good.
Caruso's 43%. He's 14 of 32 for the series.
Okay. That's good.
Wiggs is 38%. He's 8 of 21.
Just doesn't feel like it.
And that ends the number of players that are shooting well from 3 in this series.
Yeah.
Dort's 29.8%, 14 of 47.
He needs more.
He does need more. The problem is
47 is wild. 47 is wild in 6 games. 47. Holy smokes.
Holy smokes.
I mean, it's over what, 7 a game?
Yeah, that's a lot of threes.
Nice math.
Isaiah Joe, 28.6%. He's 4 of 14. It's hard to remember a made.
I have no idea which 4 those are.
Man, that's way better than I thought. Shea is 26.9%, 7 of 26.
Yeah.
Chet's 25%, 6 of 24. And Dub is last on this list, 21%, 7 of 33.
It's not where you want your.
It's bad whenever the last 3 that I mention is Shea, Chet, and Dub.
Best players who you need to step up and be the best.
Yeah, when we dog on J Dub, which he deserves all of it, but it's like those are your 3 best players, and they're all shooting essentially 25% from 3 or less. You're making 1 of 4 every game. It's hard to win basketball games.
I mean, but the reason you dog on him though is because but Shea and Chet are figuring out other ways to score.
Yeah, they are. Chet has been really aggressive going to the rim and has had a lot of success.
I have been largely pleased with what I've seen from Chet this series. I think he's been really, really good, intentional on offense. He's not shooting well and fine, but it's he's doing a lot of the things that you want from him. My only thing with Chet and where I see his frame work against him is there was a play, and I can't remember where it was in the game, but there was a play, and it felt pretty pivotal at the time where he got the offensive rebound underneath the rim and tried to go up, and it was everybody swarmed him, and you just wish that he had the ability to push through the contact and still finish. Do you remember that's a terrible description of the play itself, but
I know exactly what you're talking about.
He went up, Jokic, I think Jokic ended up getting the block on him, but it was everybody's hands were there. Russ was there.
I feel like it's happened so many times.
And it's to be strong enough to create space
or to get contact, to get fouled.
Yeah.
He needs to be using those spiky elbows more.
Well, and it's we also just have to remember that Chet is essentially played in 1.5 NBA seasons.
Yeah.
And has been injured. It is.
The Thunder have done so many things that make you forget that they're as young as they are.
Absolutely. I mean,
that's the issue. That's the issue for this. It's
yeah, definitely.
If this was any other team that was this age, you look at the Rockets.
Yeah.
Right. The Rockets, super young. Not everybody's I'm not surprised they lost to the Warriors.
Yeah.
We knew they had some warts on the way they were constructed offensively. I know it's not apples to apples, but it's everybody gives them the attaboy for a good job. Good season.
Yeah.
I know it sucks to play the Warriors.
It's a little
fine.
bit like OKC last year, where it was but you go through it once,
but now you turn in the Celtics, where it's the whole entire narrative towards this team is cool, prove it in the playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's
until they do it, it's just a reality.
I get it though, because 100%. You watch them, you're you are good enough to win. So do you have guts now? You have the talent, you have the finish, you have everything you need. Do you have the extra thing to win?
Do you have it?
Guts.
It's what you said too, though, on Wednesday. Is
guts.
The championship is theirs.
That's the thing that is going to be killer. Is if they don't pull this off on Sunday, you're never guaranteed another shot at this,
especially a window that feels
might get the Indiana Pacers in the finals.
Yeah, this is you're not guaranteed to be back here next year or the year after, and it just feels like such a huge missed opportunity if you don't take advantage of it, because they are talented enough to do it. I think they are going to win on Sunday, but the reality is, like, there's a chance that they're just not ready, and it feels it's tough to swallow because you did win 68 games and you were the best team in the NBA and you did set a record for point differential. You know, like, you have all these things that you did and you're still not ready. It feels it's going to feel massively disappointing. Which is
especially when you watch the Timberwolves win the championship and you're just like, cool.
You watch Minnesota. Dude, if Minnesota wins it, it's going to be tough. But also, like,
so think about it that way. So
I know. That's why I don't like
the Wolves versus the Nuggets. Wolves have been problematic for the Nuggets for a long time.
Yeah.
Who are you going to take between those 4 teams left? The Wolves, the Nuggets,
especially if AG is out for the first half of the series and is coming back.
Well, if that happens, then my confidence level on Sunday is
higher.
Quite a bit higher.
We'll find
Wolves,
out.
Nuggets, Pacers, Knicks. Who
you think
take?
so?
I'm taking Wolves.
You think that's an MRI thing? Is that what they were saying they're waiting for? Imaging of some sort?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you would hope we'd find out sometime today.
They're going to drug that man up and he's going to play Game 7. All right, just expect that.
I expect him to play. Just because, but that's a tough one to play through though. Like, you can't run like
not on drugs.
That it is though
different than the left shoulder.
No,
yeah, you have to run.
You can give them,
especially the way they're playing defense. Like, everything they're doing defensively with Aaron Gordon is attacking. Like, you're going to be sitting basically at the block, and running out to shooters.
Yeah,
like anything that's less as far as your ability to close that gap. Your 3-point shooting for Oklahoma City on the side that Aaron Gordon is guarding is going to go from, mildly open to wide open.
Yeah.
To largely contested to mildly open. Like, those are the things. And not to mention the fact that, like, he's your second biggest guy on the floor, basically.
Yeah.
So rebounding, offensive rebounding, tip outs, all of those things. He's their best defensive player.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a lot of things that if Aaron Gordon doesn't go, it really creates problems. And I don't know if he doesn't go at all, I guess you start Russ. That's what they did a lot during the season.
Yeah, you probably start Russ or Peyton Watson if you're looking for just size and defense. I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, maybe he's miraculously healed, which is kind of what I expect to happen.
100%. I expect that.
But
wow, this Nuggets team is so gutsy.
They're so resilient.
Jamal Murray almost died the other night. They nearly amputated Aaron Gordon's leg, and he's out here playing Game 7. This is what it's all about,
y'all. Yeah, this is what you, and it's funny because, like, we go through these, like, excruciating years of tanking and, like, rebuild and all this, and it's like, it's for these moments. Like, this is what you build your team for. This is what you got. This is what you're hoping for. Whenever you build a contender, is to, like, be in these kind of games. Where it's Game 7, you're playing against. What's crazy is that I firmly believe that we are watching, like, 2 of the best, like, 12 players to ever play the game. When it's all said and done, I think that Shea and Jokic are going to be, like, 2 of, like, the best players to ever play the game of basketball. And when we look down the road in 20 years, when we're still doing this podcast, getting our, senior coffees, it's going to be great. But I think we're going to look back and be like, remember that series?
My wife.
My wife.
What did you
rest her soul?
Andrew, what did you pick at the beginning of this series?
Thunder and 5.
I can't remember what I said. Probably the same thing. Or Thunder and 6, maybe.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people that picked Thunder and 7.
Yeah.
And the hard part about that, like, so if you listen to, I think it was Beck and Zach Lowe.
Yeah.
Lowe said 6, Beck said 7.
Yeah.
And the hard part about that is I heard that quite regularly.
Yeah.
And the challenging thing about that is, like, I hear it. I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. And I'm like, not in my mind thinking, they'll have to actually make it to Game 7.
It doesn't compute that you have to lose 3 games.
Yeah.
For that to happen.
Yeah.
I know. It's like, yeah, great. I'll take it. It's Thunder and 7.
It's like, but you actually have to play in a Game 7.
But it's excruciating.
It's excruciating.
We have to go through it as, like, fans and people that watch this team too. I'm actually going on Zach Lowe's podcast today.
Are you really?
I am.
The Low Post?
No, the Zach Lowe
show.
The Zach Lowe show.
Yes, and it's like part of me is like watching this game, like please let them win, because it's just way more fun to talk to somebody after a win. Like days like this where I'm doing like 3 or 4 podcasts and I have to talk about this loss over and over.
Do you think you guys will need me and Luke on there?
Yeah, if you guys just like be over my shoulder, you know.
You want to be the angel? Do you want to be the devil on his shoulder?
That's a bit.
Devil.
That's a bit.
That is a bit.
Angel.
Yeah, that's a bit.
I want to be the devil right now, Andrew, because I think I'm feeling what maybe some listeners are feeling with you being realistic and setting, making sure we're healthy if we lose on game 7 and not wanting to blow the entire team up.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But like this is what I feel.
Yeah.
No, stop talking about that. This team is good enough to win. That's the expectation.
Yeah.
There's no excuses.
It's a fair expectation.
This should have been over. Chet, you should have hit 2 free throws in game 1.
I was going to say game 1 hurts worse today than it did right after.
Dude, game 3. It should have been done. This should have been done in 5 games.
Which one was the overtime on game 3?
Game 3.
Yes, game 3.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, that's what I feel. That's what I feel. This shouldn't have even been game 7.
Yeah.
It should have been 5 games. The Thunder are going to the Western Conference Finals. We were waiting.
Yeah. And I've listened to like Nuggets shows and like read Nuggets stuff where they feel the same way, where it's like we gave away that Dort game, like they feel like they should be done too. That's how.
Yeah, but this team is better than the Nuggets. This team is deeper than the Nuggets.
I agree. I think it's a better roster. I think on paper this series should be over, but the intangibles of basketball always prevail in ways that you can't expect.
You're the devil.
Like, I don't care how young they are. Are they a championship contender? Yes. Are they the best team in the league? Were they this year? Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Are they the healthiest right now in the playoffs? Yes. Should they win? Yes, they should. There's no excuses.
Yeah, there's no excuse that's like good enough.
No, there's nothing. You're going to have the Knicks or the Pacers in the finals.
I know. Well, it could be the Celtics, but the Tatum-less Celtics.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
That would be wild.
That would be insane.
You talk about a fan base that will be distraught is the Knicks.
Oh,
if they lose, they lose. If they lose, I'm telling you, if they lose game 6 tonight,
oh my God.
Whoa.
I mean, I have the only like real expectation I have for the rest of the playoffs is that the Knicks are going to lose in excruciating fashion.
Game 7.
They go up 2-0 with Tatum playing at the Celtics.
Yeah.
And then they lose 4 in a row. Tatum doesn't play in 2 of those. Yeah, that does feel very Knicksy, actually.
It feels right, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. You're right.
Game 7.
Are you miffed? And are you piffed?
Miffed and peeved.
I'm miffed. I woke up this morning, went to come to the podcast, hit the elevator down button, which lights up the little thing, and then the light goes off. Hit it again, hit both up and down, they go off. I had to walk down 14 flights of stairs.
Oh no!
To get to the podcast this morning.
You got your steps in, man.
I got my steps.
The glass half full is at least it wasn't up.
Yeah, it was down.
Yeah, I guess.
So you're holding gravity's hand.
Glass half empty, you're going to have to walk up 14 flights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There you go.
They probably don't have the elevator fixed by the time.
Glass half full. I'm not going home this weekend.
I was a little miffed, but I wasn't too miffed. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I would have loved for the Thunder have won game 6.
Yeah, I mean that's the biggest miffed and peeved today is that OKC didn't close this series out last night.
I'm also miffed at myself for being mean to my friend Luke to start the podcast.
I have a GIF that I'm going to show you.
I'm sorry, man.
You did what you just did.
I'm miffed. This should be done.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be going to a game 7, and I can't read another Alex Spears post-game text this series.
Yeah.
It has to be done.
Send me that. I want that.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else in my life that I'm miffed about. I'm tired, man.
I'm so
Andrew,
tired.
I can't imagine. Are you even sleeping right now?
Man, there's some rough days. There's some rough days where because like life doesn't just stop because you're at the arena until 3 a.m.
Although I'm telling you this, if they do get through Sunday and they make it through the Western Conference Finals, it might stop I might take 2 weeks off.
Yeah, I might take my day off actually.
The good news is that like school's gonna be out soon. Like that's what I'm like, because I mean after game 5, I'm at the arena until super late, and then like kids got to go to school, and I still have to be a husband and a dad and get up, and then like by the time they're at school, I've got to start shows and everything, and then everything just keeps rolling. It's like, yeah, there's been like 3 hours of sleep days and all that.
At some point we're going to move the podcast to LA. We're going to get out. We're going to get to the Western, to the Pacific time zone.
The best coast. I mean, also like you get to the conference finals, all the games start at 7 because
you've got to do
no late game. There's just one game.
Prime time.
Well, and that's from here on out. There's only going to be one game a night. No 2 games.
Yep.
Sunday, 2:30 Central Standard Time.
Be there.
Game 7.
Dentist time.
Be there, be square.
Let's go.
Root canal coming up. We're all going through a root canal on Sunday.
It's time.
I don't know if I'm going to watch.
You're going to watch.
Yeah.
How would you do that? I don't know how you would do it.
I almost didn't want to watch last night. Like I almost wanted to turn off the fourth quarter.
What are you doing instead?
And just wait.
Gardening.
Yeah. I've got a great garden going right now, guys. Already tomatoes coming in, squash. We built a raised bed. We are killing it this year. Basil off the hook. Got green peppers. They come in a little later when it's a little warmer outside, but the plant looking really healthy. My tomato plant, I'm going to get like 40 tomatoes off this one plant. And then I had, guess what? Do you know how squash works pollinating? There's a male flower and a female flower. And if the female flower does not get inseminated by the male pollen, it will not, like the squash will die. So we didn't have enough bees this year. So I went out there with a Q-tip and I got pollen out of the male and, did it with, I felt like I was like breeding horses that I was going to sell, when they use like the baster. That's what I felt like I was doing. I was like, I'm going to make some show winning squash this year by forcing pollen into this female flower. It's working. I got 8 healthy, juicy squashes coming in. On one plant, that's good. You should only expect about 6, I think, per plant. All right. Have a good week, guys.
Hope to see a lot of dunkers on Sunday.
I've never heard you so enthusiastic.
Especially anything.
Especially such a downer pod.
I think that's why I was like,
finally up.
I know that the entire Oklahoma City fan base is in a panic mode, but let me tell you about my garden.
We're garden pod after this.
Yeah.
This summer, keep us updated.
Yeah, let us know.
I will. I'll let you know. Maybe I'll bring you guys some stuff. When it's time for harvest.
Oh, brother.
We'll have a taste test here.
I've heard that homegrown tomatoes are
way better.
Elite comparatively.
Same with squash too, dude. Squash is.
Man, I can't wait to not try this.
What do you put squash in?
No. I grill it.
Oh yeah,
grill squash.
Yeah, that's good.
I cut it in slices, in thick slices. A bunch.
Oh, you're talking about like long wise.
It's good. You get grill marks on it. It's great, but not the grocery store squash because they're too old. You need them to be like firm so they don't get soggy on the grill.
We'll talk to you guys again on Monday.